In philosophy, a point of view is a specific attitude or a manner through which a person thinks about something. This figurative usage of the expression dates back to 1760. In this meaning, the usage is synonymous with one of the meanings of this term. Hello, this is Wood and Ash. Welcome to Mental Policing. Hey guys, like
Hello.
I said, this is Wood and Ash. I'm going to apologize up front. I am a little bit sick, but we're back. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back doing this, and we enjoy it. So, sick or not, here we are. If I have sniffle or cough fits, I'll try and shut the mic off or get out of the way, or just let you hear it. But that's where we're at with it. So. If you didn't figure out from the intro what I was talking about, I was talking about perspective. I originally wrote up this episode and I liked it and I thought it was good. Then I thought about it. Maybe I need to talk more about how officers can take somebody else's perspective that they're dealing with and maybe show more compassion that way, or maybe understand where they're coming from, but seeing somebody else's perspective. And then I realized, and remember, this is not a police how-to podcast. So if you need to learn how to do that and how to do your job, that's not what this podcast is for. This is for mental health, and this is mental policing. So I stuck with my original idea and wanted to talk about our life's perspectives. And so we'll get into it. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Obviously, we haven't been here. Started out quite nicely, I might add. A much-needed trip to the sandy, sweet beaches of Cancun, Mexico. It was wonderful out there.
It was. Very nice.
No worries, no complaints, no issues.
No responsibilities.
No responsibilities, late nights, late mornings. It didn't matter. But, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And it did. Mm. And I don't mean to be dramatic about it, because I know we'll get back there someday, I hope, and have just as much fun. But nonetheless, we came home. And when we got home, of course the kids have to go to sitters because they're too young to survive on their own. So our baby, she is 11 months, and within hours, we could tell something was off. She didn't feel well. She was getting sick. So this began the task. We got off of vacation and immediately began the task of getting the baby better. So when I talk about it being a rough couple of weeks, this is what I mean. Now she's better and I'm not, but it's easier to deal with her when she's not, when she's feeling better. Mm-hmm. So the nights were long. They felt like weeks. And the days, during the day, we were tired, and it felt like we had to get from one meal to the next before getting to bed for some sleep. And while it was tough, it wasn't the worst thing that either one of us has ever had to deal with or experienced. We knew it would be okay, and we truly believed it. We kept our eyes on the bigger picture. It was just a bump in the road. This doesn't mean that there weren't parent tears shed. Grumpy days, short tempers, a continually messy house. What everyone sees is what we allow them to see, and from that perspective, it may have looked like we had it all together. But in reality, we were just getting by.
We're normal like everybody else.
Yeah. Whenever I've been in a situation where it consumes my entire being and my total attention, it provides me an opportunity to reflect on what's important. It helps me keep in perspective the things that matter the most. I've often said it in these moments that this is all that matters, and everything outside of that is just noise, and I can forget it. What is happening right then and right now is all that matters. I think we take many of those moments for granted, though. We allow ourselves to think ahead, or we have to look back and forget that we're right here, right now. I've mentioned before that I have a bunch of kids, and every time one was born, I had that same feeling, like nothing else mattered in the world or at that moment than my child being born. And that lasted a few days, sometimes a week, depending on the situation. Each child was born into different circumstances. And whenever I've had a sick child, I've had children that have needed surgery or something major's happened in their life, everything goes away and all my attention is right there because that's all that matters. Fast forward to now, but then rewind just a little bit to a couple of weeks ago, and that was that vacation. I was in that moment. I was there. I knew everything back home was good. Everything was okay. We didn't know baby was getting sick, and it didn't matter.
She was still happy.
We-
Still loved.
Yep. We were able to live in that moment.
Yes.
My perspective is that I need to be present and where I am. Sorry, I'm going to start coughing a bunch here if I don't do a drink. So, this hasn't been an easy road. I talk about it like I've got it all figured out and this is just what I do. There were opportunities, gatherings, significant events, different things in my life that I took for granted. I didn't perceive that they would later have any bearance on my life or any importance because I wasn't living in that moment. And I missed them. They came, they went, and now I have to try and grasp at the memory of what they were. I'm not suggesting you become reckless in your life and you live just for the moment, but don't overlook where you're at. We do this at work too, or we can. We're often in situations that require our whole attention, or every bit of focus, and it can mean the difference between life and death. Be in those moments for yourself, for your family, for your coworkers and your friends. I don't want to hammer the issue too much because sometimes and oftentimes we're better at living in the moment at work than we are at living in the moment at home. And it's living in the moment at home that shapes us to become better at living in the moment at work and putting life into true perspective. As much as I love to live in these moments, I'm able to soak up the details. I find they stick more with me in the long run. I can remember more details about each of my children's births, their surgeries, their happiest birthdays, Disneyland, things like that, because I take the time to live in that moment, and I try and see life from their perspective, which doesn't have all the clutter and the noise that we have as adults. I've learned that from the past that I need to take better care in living now and having a better perspective on what's to come. And it's something interesting when I was drawing up this or writing up this episode is, have you ever stopped and asked your significant other or a close family member, if you don't have a significant other, what the perspective of you is? What do they perceive you as at work or at home? Are you the same? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you bad at work? Are you good at home, or vice versa? What do you think they would reply with? Might be an interesting exercise to try.
That isn't. I think that's a good idea.
You?
Give our listeners a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Report
Let us
back.
know. Report back, please. I was just having a conversation with my 7-year-old not too long ago about this very thing. I was trying to think of my part of perspective, and in my conversation with my daughter, it was very eye-opening. She's stressing about me having to work, and I asked her, you have two options. Neither of them change whether the fact I stay home or go to work, but you can stress about it or you can be happy about it. Either don't change the outcome, but one feels better than the other. So it's easier and it feels better to have a good perspective on life and not stress about things that you have no control over, you can't change.
Right. like I said, learn from the past. Don't dwell on it. And hope for the future. But don't stress about it. And live in your moment while doing both the other two at the same time. So like I said, it's good to be back. Yes, I do have a cold, and I am now a bass, as before I was a tenor. So
I enjoy it.
there's that. Um, so thank you to all that checked in on us over the last couple
Yes.
weeks.
Thank you for the dinners.
Um,
Thank you for taking care of us.
Yes, it was a rough road.
Yes.
Our house is still in shambles. Our baby is happy and healthy. She's sleeping again through the night like she's supposed to. And we were well taken care of, which helped create this episode on what is perspective and what matters. And what matters is making sure home is taken care of first. And those that we've surrounded ourselves with have helped us realize that. So thank you very much.
Thank you for helping us.
I will leave it with this. What you see depends not only what you look at, but also where you look from. So guys, from this perspective, our future looks bright. This is Wood,
And Ash.
and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Okay, well, we had a few show up on the Facebooks. Thank you. Those of you that joined on the Instagrams, thank you. We had,
Thank you for the love.
hey, Kaylin, I hope you're still there. Good to see you in. Thanks, Christy. I think that's a high five, a heart, and a kiss. But,
Sorry we were gone for so long.
yeah, it feels good to be back.
It does.
So here we
Yes.
are. Here we is. Anyway, again, check out Addie's rings, Addie Bands on Instagram,
A good Christmas
Instagram.com/AddieBands. Yeah, a great Christmas present. So check that out. We are going to go because I'm about to have a coughing fit, and nobody wants to see that because I make these faces. They're an oh face, but like an oh my gosh, I'm going to die face. You don't want to see that one. Or probably the other one. Anyway, I'm going to go before I get in trouble. Bye.
Bye.